Izumi Curtis. Izumi Curtis. Izumi Curtis was Edward and Alphonse Elric's teacher. She taught them alchemy. The principles of alchemy, what it meant to be an alchemist, They then, and she knew alchemy, she tried to bring her infant that died inside of her, during childbirth back to life. And she did the ultimate taboo of, trying to bring somebody back to life with alchemy, which it can't be done. She lost part of her gastrotracts, and she became weaker from that. But she, found Alphonse and Edward, and she was like, "Oh no, you guys didn't do it, did you?" And they're like, "Yes, we did. We performed, transmutation, to bring somebody back to life, and that shit's forbidden." She's like, you saw inside of you saw the truth, and they took, or it took, Alphonse's body and your arm and leg. And he's like, "Yeah, we want to get him back." And she's like, she felt bad for them because she's been in the same situation. She was like, "You fools shouldn't have played games and shit like that, but I'll still have your back." They ended up fighting against, the homunculus, called Father. She helped fight against, Amestrian soldiers who were still loyal to King Bradley, even though they knew that they would be sacrificed for the greater good. They were going to be all sacrificed to make Father more powerful and close to God, and that basically that they would be a part of him. So in a sense, they would still be alive. Their soul would be, transferred into a philosopher's stone or into his body to keep his existence fueled. But she wasn't going to stand for that. She ended up fighting against them. She could summon walls of, mud and shit like that, thick layers of wall and shit like that, She's also physically strong and combatant too. She used to be a state alchemist herself. But Izumi Curtis strength's 88. 88 for speed and an 82 for endurability. 86 for endurance. And then 90 for intelligence and 90 for experience and an 88 for close skills. 85 for range skills and an 85 for recoup. 88 for hacks and overall power score of 87%. For Izumi Curtis. Be cool, Quan Corner.